Poojaji, please let me know once Mr. Vishal has joined.
Mr. Vishal has already joined by the name of Educating.
All right. So Mr. Arun has to join.
Yeah, he is joining in next 1 minute.
All right. Perfect.
Arun sir has already also joined. You can make him the panelist. Sure. Yeah?
Yes, I did actually.
So after that, we can start it.
Yeah, I think it's already 4:05. We can start now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think few people are joining. There are, I think, few people are messaging my team. They are not able to join. I don't know what is the reason. So they are trying to sorting it out. So today we have another session for BCom students as well as BCom graduates, like career after BCom. Today with us, it's a second webinar of TaxScan. We have CA Arun Chahar, CA Pooja Gag, CA Vishal Poda. On behalf of TaxScan, I welcome all of you, including participants. Like, I'm not taking much time for welcome address. I'm giving the access to the panelists. Over to you, ma'am and sir.
Yes, ma'am. Pooja ma'am, kindly start. Thank you so much, TaxScan team, for providing the another opportunities so that we can discuss even the aspirant who like to start the career in the finance. Till now, we are only addressing the professional, but now we got an opportunity through TaxScan so that we can interact and use some guidance.
Yeah, I would like to make a point here. Actually, recently we have a lot of queries from many MNCs with regarding to freshers who is willing to work in MNCs. So what we can do is initially after the first batch, we can definitely have some kind of placement assistance to all participants.
Great.
So we got a query from a few big fours as well. Actually, like we got a mail from HR of a big four. So initially, like we are providing few candidates. We'll have a connection with them, and we can definitely give a placement assistance to all the course participants as well.
Great, that would be great. So now, Pooja ma'am, over to you.
Sir, today's deliberation will be given by the Vishal sir.
Yeah.
A renowned speaker in the field of indirect and direct tax. So we have him today with us to guide us uh, for the career after BCom.
Thank you.
So it's
Thank you,
over to
ma'am.
you. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, TaxCon, for giving this opportunity to all of us. I request to please allow me the screen sharing option.
It is with you, I guess, because all the panelists is having this.
Sir,
I am not yet having
Abdullah
this.
sir, may I request to kindly allow us to share the screen?
Yes, sir. You can share it now.
Fine.
Yeah, fine. Great. So, dear participants, good evening to one and all present over here. Also, good evening to all the learned panelists. And thank you very much, TaxCon. Now, taking ahead with what Abdullah sir just mentioned, that it is a very common phenomenon nowadays that, especially post-pandemic, we have observed this, that there is a great increase in job opportunities. Yes, I know this is something you may be expecting me to say otherwise, but that is a fact. Right now, there is a big boom in the employment sector, and specifically relating to the commerce, and within commerce to the, I will say, those people who are trained, those people who know how to handle day-to-day accounting, day-to-day taxation, and who are well versed with all the basic provisions that is required. Like Abdullah sir just mentioned that there are queries, there are inputs from big MNCs, there are input from big fours. So we also keep on always having similar inquiries. But the common thing which I find in all these inquiries is about that they now want trained people. Now, nobody wants a person who has just graduated or who has come out with a college degree. That today is not sufficient. In fact, at many times, even degrees like MCom is not always preferred, because it is only a very theoretical, and I will say it is more like a school or a classroom learning only. Whereas today's industry want people, those who are trained in the subjects which are required by the industry, which are required by the trade, to carry out their day-to-day transactions, to, I will say, I'll use the word, to run their day-to-day business. And that is what our today's session is all focused on. We all panelists over here are expert in our respective fields. We have been working, we have rich experience, and also we have a strong training background, because of which we are here to discuss with you how you can groom yourself, train yourself, and prepare yourself for the dream job, or I will say your dream career. So with this, let us proceed about what is there for you after BCom. Now, it may be BCom or it may be any other graduation in any other field, but now you are pursuing to join industry and in the commerce sector, then today's presentation will be of great value addition to you. Now, in this, the first most important point is, what are the challenges that today you as a graduate person or as a qualified person would handle? And I will say, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, today's challenge is that industry has a great demand, but now the demand is very specific. It is now no more linked with your bare degree or qualification. Now the objective has changed. Now the requirements have changed, and now people are looking for trained professionals. They are looking for people who are, besides having qualification, besides having certificate, but they know how to handle day-to-day activities. And let me tell you, post implementation of GST and post all these changes, there was a buzz that maybe it would reduce employment, but practically, especially post pandemic, we are seeing it otherwise. Now there is a great demand for corporate accountants. I will put it in these words. Now there is a great demand for corporate accountants. That is to say, the one who can handle day-to-day industry transactions, day-to-day business transactions. Now, when we talk about any job or any career prospect, there is always a trade-off. The trade-off is between what you expect in monetary terms, let us call it as your salary or the fees if you are self-employed, and against that, the job satisfaction. Now, there is a very interesting concept called as the Maslow's hierarchy needs theory. This normally you study as a student of economics, where it is said that initially our first aim is to satisfy our basic necessities, And for that, obviously, the only medium is money. However, once your basic necessities are satisfied, once you excel in that particular Maslow's hierarchy, then slowly and steadily, your aim is to better your job conditions, your working conditions, and to ultimately reach the job satisfaction. Now, I've seen so many students in my past career, whenever I have, since I'm into training, that there are people who get qualified, they get good degrees and they get good pay. But many times it is a possibility that they are not fully satisfied or content with what they are presently doing for one major reason, that they are otherwise more skilled. But when they are into a particular job and they are not having sufficient tools in the sense sufficient training, then their work profile is confined to one single area, which also restrict their growth in terms of monetary and growth also in terms of scaling up in the organization. And this is what ultimately goes against them when it comes to job satisfaction. It also leads to frustration, and somewhere I believe I have experienced that your entire career graph gets stagnated. Now this is where we have to break this chain and we have to get out of this particular old concept of, okay, you are become, you are graduated, or maybe you are MBA and that is sufficient. Now I'm sure today's generation is more seeking towards a standard of living, not only a standard of earning but also a standard of living, and that involves some sort of work-life balance. Now you also want time for your personal entertainment, for your personal cushion. You also want recognition. You also want a good growth in your career besides good salary and besides job security. And these things put together leads to job satisfaction. In fact, I have seen many of my students are always keen on taking up challenging jobs. So they are not only looking towards a good pay, but they also want to have challenging jobs. And all this is possible, especially like what initially Abdullah sir said, that when you go to MNCs, when you go to Big Four, you have all these things. You have a good package, you have a scope for career growth, you have good challenging jobs. But then the point is, what is the step, what is the approach, or what is the path to joining these things and achieving all these, which ultimately culminates into job satisfaction? And that is a very, very good training. Now in this, let us understand what are the various career options. The career options is: one, you first study, you take up training, you go for betterment of your skills, then you may apply for a job, and then third is you may even start your own practice or you may have your own office. Now within this, if we go into details of the academical degrees or qualifications that you have in BCom or post BCom, if you want to masters, you can take up MCom, or if you want to take masters in administration, that is you want to be manager, CEO, then you can take up MBA, or you can become a professional by taking up courses of chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, or company secretary, which is also having a great recognition and is a very highly paid job. Or many times, see, it is not possible for everyone to take up these MBA and CA, CMA courses because one of the length involved, the time duration required, which may run into 4 to 5 years, and also many times the costs involved. Then you have a very good option of taking up another course called as the Business Corporate Accountant course, which is also a government certificate course. So this will give you both. It will give you a recognition in the industry because of the government certification, and also within a short span of 6 months, you will be equipped with all those skills, with all those features that are required for getting what we discussed in the previous slide, like recognition, good pay, job security, etc. Besides this, you have some other streams, like you can take up LLB, you can take up job in government by going for UPSC exams, etc. Besides this, there are some international courses also. Now we have to understand one thing. When we are talking about international courses are subject specific, or I will say area specific. Like when you take up BCom, when you take up business corporate accountant, you delve into all areas. At the same time, you even know taxation, you even know accounting, you even know banking, you even know commerce. But when we talk about international certifications, many times these are very subject specific. Like if you want to get into equity research, if you want to be a manager of portfolios or a fund manager, then CFA is the course. If you are interested in handling various financial issues that crop up in running a big industry, you can take up the financial risk management course. If you want to do something similar to CA outside India, like in US, it is the CPA. So what is called as chartered accountant over here, over there in US, it is called as certified public accountant. Similarly, there is another course of UK similar to an accountant course, that is ACCA, or you can be a certified financial planner, or there is something called as CMA, which is actually CIMA, which is equivalent to our CWA course of India. So these are some international courses, but these are very subject specific, and you should think of these courses if you are actually planning to settle abroad. Yes, these courses do have some acceptability in India, but then again, you have to be in metro cities, and then your job profile or job area will be very specific. So again, it is a call whether you want to get into a specific sector, a specific subject, or initially you want to groom yourself to handle everything in the industry, and then maybe after taking 8 to 10 years of experience, you may super specialize in one of the core areas, whatever you feel like. Now, for doing all this, you need around, as I mentioned at the start, if you want to do MBA, if you want to do CA or any of these international courses, the minimum time duration is ranging from 3 to 5 years, depending upon the course. In some courses, it is even 2 years. In some courses, it is 5 years, but averagely, it will be somewhere around 4 to 5 years. And again, the cost will vary between minimum 2 to 6 lakhs. This may also have some inflation because post-pandemic, many courses or many colleges have scaled up their fees, and depending upon also when you are taking up foreign courses, the exchange rate, there could be a difference in these different courses and the amount involved. So here is just a brief, and you can say just a comparative chart showing what are the requirements in terms of time, in terms of cost for each of these courses, and what is the average pay that you may expect if you are taking up these courses. Then we come to the next part. If you are planning to take up job, now in job, what are the different areas that you have to cater to or that you need to address? One is you need to know thorough accounting. You have to be able to analyze business problems. You should be sound in banking related issues. Now, banking does not only means only filing of checks or only fund transfer. There are so many things related to banking. Then you should be an expert in terms of taking various financial decisions which require modeling. Modeling over here means designing as per the requirements, from where to raise money, at what rate, how to raise money, etc., whether Indian market, foreign markets. And also auditing. Auditing today is the key. Today, all organizations are going by the theory of control. So every organization would like to cut their costs, would like to have a better control of on their operations. And for this, the quality that is required is that of officer auditor. So these are some various specific areas, or as is put over here, the various fields, the various responsibilities that you can take up when you are in commerce post BCom. And again, for all of these, there are some specialized courses and qualifications. Next, the areas that you can go into for job is, one, by doing many of these courses, you can get into government, or you can get into the banking sector, which also includes investment banking, or you can take up some job profiles which are outside India, or if by chance those companies have their offices over here and they are providing job for similar profile, then you can be an educator, teacher, or you can also get into nowadays, which is trending a lot, is in the digital field, where you can get into digital education, you can get into digital marketing, etc. Now there is something about this special course, which is the business corporate accountant course. this course has some special attributes. I will request Pooja ma'am to please throw light on this specialized course, that is the business corporate accountant course.
Yeah, sure, sir. So, as the name suggests, it is a course for the person who want to make career in the field of accounting, who want to be an accountant. So, this is a course to create uh, a well-trained and employable accountant. It's a curriculum that is designed by keeping in mind the needs of industry, and it is totally practical oriented. This course has 6 modules which cover training in accounting and tally prime software, GST, income tax, banking and finance, basics of export import, MS Excel, and PF ESI. These 6 are the modules. The duration of this course is about 6 months, and we are we have uh, hmm, we have organized an exam, a scholarship exam, to get admission in this course at discounted price. The price of this course is 50,000 as of now, but if you take up that exam, which is to be conducted on 25th of this month, on 25th of June, and all the participants will get special discount, and the top 10 participants will get this course at the rate of 10,000 only. For more details, you can contact to TechScan. Now I want to all of you, if you have any doubt or question, you can raise those doubt or questions in the chat box. We will be happy to answer those questions. It can be regarding this course, the scholarship program, or the question regarding your careers also, the aspects or doubt you have in making your career. Please.
How this is government certified? Government certified means we are having the association with the central government in which we will give the training, and there would be an exams, and the certificate separately for the GST and separately for the income tax would be given by them. So we can stop sharing.
There is a first question which asks that after doing BCom honors and BCA, what all can I do and where will I be employed? See, this is a very open-ended question. BCom or even BCA, see, these are the only very basic courses today. See, it was a time somewhere in 90s, I would say, when after getting BCom degree, which was a graduation degree, it was a short entry ticket for any corporate jobs. But today that is not the case. So only doing BCom, or rather I'll say even masters, is today not sufficient. Yes, what all you can do is, if you want to take up a job, you have to first get equipped with all the commercial requirements of taxation, accounting, etc. And wherever possible, please ensure that either firstly you're going for higher education, like you may be taking up MBA, you may be taking up CA, CMA, or any international course, or if you do not have that much time and you want to start your career immediately, then you should take up something like the business corporate accountant course, which will equip you with the government certification as well as with all the knowledge that is there in CA, CMA, CS courses. Shruti ji is asking, is the course online? Yes, these courses are available online. The business corporate accountant course is available online. Sir, in chat box, there is some question. Accountant.
Can I explain?
Yeah,
can I explain the BBA course? Can you explain the BBA course? Sir, could you please explain?
Yeah, see, BBA is nothing but, see, earlier there was only one course, that was MBA. Now you can say BBA has been made the predecessor of MBA. It is like whoever wants to take up MBA, maybe instead of going for BCom, they can take up BBA. But again, there is no such thing that to do MBA, you have to do BBA compulsory. There is no such thing. Even after doing BCom anyways, for taking up a good college of MBA, you need to appear for the entrance exams, which is CAT, which is GMAT, which is GRE, etc. And many colleges have their individual exams. So today, BBA, BCA, BCM, these are parallel courses that has run to BCom with variation in their syllabus. Otherwise, I don't find there is any much value addition if you do BBA only as such. Yes, sir. Someone is asking, I am 30-year-old and running tax consulting firm. Is it right time to start CA course? See, there is no right time to take up any course. It is all dependent upon where you are standing today, how much time, how much dedication you can give to that particular course, keeping all your responsibilities in mind, because you may be having some challenges at home. You may be having to support your family. Maybe you would be married or would be appearing for would be preparing for getting married. So all these things you have to keep in mind, because all these professional courses would require, as we discussed about, at least 4 to 5 years from the day you start. So definitely, if you feel like you should take up course, it is a very excellent course, CA, but then that should support your other responsibilities. Yes, sir.
Sir, there is one question. I did BCom and also completed Tally Prime and GST. Now what I do?
Fine. See, one is completing the course and one is acquiring the skills of doing that. Many times I have seen that we take up a course, we complete the course, but we are not equipped to handle the matters. Like, let us say you have done Tally. Good, but are you able to do accounting on Tally? You have done GST, that is great, because that is the need of the today. But are you really able to handle the matters relating to GST, file the returns, or analyze the GST case studies? If yes, then definitely you should apply for jobs like you have on different job portals, or like what was mentioned initially, you can even contact us. If we have any suitable job for you, you can take up the job. But if these are only courses giving you some qualification, but you are not yet prepared to handle the real life situations in accounting and taxation, then I think it is still time that you should first take a proper training so that you get actually equipped to handle the industry problems and also get employable, as what Pooja ma'am had mentioned at the start.
Next is by Sejal Thakur. What will be the job profile for the ones who are going to acquire business corporate accounting?
Yeah. See, the job profile that we find in industry for this particular course is very vast. See, it is like you get into the account section, the finance section, and you can scale up to the CEO level or the CFO level in this. Obviously, it will take time, but this is where you get employed and you are able to handle the entire commercial part of the business when it comes to accounting, when it comes to taxation, when it comes to banking. So it is like this, you are handling the entire commercial section of that particular business after doing this particular course.
Please take this question, ma'am. Sir, accountant scope in Kerala and UAE.
See, accountant scope, again, if you are talking about any particular, means actually, sir, I did not get whether they are talking about CA, that is chartered accountant, or what accountant, or after doing this business corporate accountant course.
Surey, could you please explain only accountant or any professional degree along with that you are asking your question? We'll take up. Meanwhile, we are going to
how to take train tax. There is, I think, some typo error.
Zakirji, kindly retype the question. Meanwhile, we can take up the question. What will be the job profile for the one who are going to acquire business corporate accountant course?
Sir, I think I answered that. I answered.
Okay, sorry. It's answered then.
Next one is, can I study CA parallel to BCom?
Yeah, definitely. CA course allows you to join CA immediately after 12th. So you appear for foundation course, and after qualifying for foundation, you take up the inter level, which will run parallel to your BCom. In fact, the CA course is also undergoing restructuring. So that new course has reduced the articleship by 1 year. So earlier, what was taking around 5 years, now it will be taking around 4 years. But again, that has come with some qualifiers. But yes, if you want to get into industry, then you can take up the new CA course, which has 1 year less of articleship, but that new pattern is yet to be implemented. It is just proposed. We are expecting that by next year it will get implemented.
Uh, what
Next
all
is,
like? Yes, sorry. Please,
sorry,
please
sorry.
continue, ma'am.
By Veshak. By Veshak. What about opting PGDM Logistics and Supply Chain Management course after BCom? Does it have any scope?
Definitely, definitely. But see, remember one thing, whenever you are taking up any such diploma courses or any PG courses, you have to ensure that you are doing it with a institute of repute, because nowadays, more or less every college, every university is offering these courses. You have many deemed universities, but I have seen that, again, what I mentioned in my initial deliberation, you will get the qualification, you will get the degree of PGDM in that particular field. But if it is not recognized in the market, then only on the basis of that qualification, getting a job is not so easy. Then either you have to take up some other training parallelly, or you'll have to first work in that particular area so that you get the hands-on experience, and then only you become eligible for a good salary and a good profile.
Next
Yes,
is
ma'am.
by Shifana Nizam. Is digital marketing a better option after BCom or BBA?
See, anything digital today is a very good option. So because everything is getting digitalized, even our currency is getting digitalized. So going digital is always a good option. But again, see, I personally feel that digital, I don't means I'm maybe I may not be very much pro digital, but I always have this thing that digital is only a means to make your things easier, but only depending upon digital entirely may not help. So please understand, you take up any course, but it is important that you get proficiency in that course, you get expertise in that course. Like some people, I am not, but some people are very much pro with digital, so they are so much active and they understand the digital world so well that they can become tomorrow a good digital marketer, they can become tomorrow a good digital entire business manager. But for that, then you should be pro with the digital world. Only getting taking up something in digital field, a course, a degree, I don't think will be sufficient. But yes, it is a good option if you are pro digital.
Next is by Mr. Suvarth. Indian CMA growth. What is the scope of Indian CMA
See,
globally? I guess.
CA, CMS, CS, these three qualifications which we are talking about and which are our Indian courses, I believe they are having great growth, great scope in India. And also of late, these institutes are having tie-up with all the foreign counterparts. Like our CA Institute is having tie-ups with the respective CA institutes of different countries, similarly the CMA. What will happen because of these tie-ups tomorrow, once you are CA, CMA, you have to only appear one or two papers of that country. Like let us say you want to do a practice in UK, you want to do practice in Australia. Our institutes have made tie-up with these countries' respective CA or CMA institutes, whereby by only taking up their one or two papers, you will get a degree even of US, UK, Australia, all these countries CA, CMA. But again, one thing, are you going to go there to work? If not, then these degrees are only on paper. I have one of my friend who is today having 12 degrees, but what he is doing of those 12 degrees, nothing. He is doing altogether a different thing, which is not requiring any of those 12 degrees. So whenever you are thinking of taking up any specialized course or degree, please be clear what you actually want. One, you can only do this for adding it to your profile, no problem, go ahead, do it without thinking. Only you need to invest time and money. But if you want to do a career, if you want to make a living out of it, then please understand that by taking up that course, especially if it is an international course, are you going to have any opportunities where you are staying. If that city, that place is having the opportunity for international courses, definitely. As far as CA, CMA, CS are concerned, these are having superb opportunities in days to come. Yes, ma'am.
So next question, I think there is some mistake. I'm not getting it by Zakir Hussain. How to take train tax there
That
any
that we
source?
mentioned, ma'am. We are
Acha,
expecting.
we already expect
No,
asking.
but I think there is a reply. I think he's saying in short time. How to get trained in GST and ITR in short time. I think this is what he means to ask. And if that is the case, Zakir ji, then your answer is this business corporate accountant course, because that will give you in-depth training in taxation, both direct and indirect, and also in banking, also in accountancy and tally. So in short time, in a span of maximum 6 months, you will be trained fully for all these areas.
Next question is by Mr. Somya. What all can I do after BCom honors and MBA?
Ma'am, I think I have answered this. I think you're taking up bold questions.
I guess these questions are reposted by the candidates.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nee,
What
now I
is
am
the
in the
difference?
chat box. In chat box, there is a question of Mr. John. Sir, what are the qualifications for getting a good job related to BCom Finance? Fine. If you are talking about the qualifications for BCom Finance, um, again, I think you have already mentioned one of the qualification, that is BCom. But if you want to ask in commerce or in finance, that the supreme degrees in these fields are CA, CMA, or you have to take up a specialized course, like as we are discussing about the corporate accountant course. These will help you get good job relating to finance.
Next is by Ms. Sejal. How business corporate accountant course will help me in obtaining a job in bank as well as corporates?
Well, see, banks, this particular course is not designed exclusively for giving you employment in banks. Especially for banks, you require specific entrance exams to be given. Only then you become eligible for those are called as bank PO exams. Or if you want to be manager or something, then either you should have an MBA degree or you should be a chartered accountant. That will help you get a degree, a job in bank. So per se, this particular course, I don't feel will help you get a direct entry in any banking sector. Yes, the knowledge which is provided by this course is in itself complete and sufficient. And definitely, if there is a generalized accountant role in bank, you will be able to get it. As far as corporates is concerned, yes, this particular course, which is a short-term 6 months course, is very, very helpful, a very handy course in getting up good corporate jobs. Yes, ma'am.
Next is by Galaxy. Which is better option, MBA finance or MCom finance?
Definitely MBA finance, but again with a rider that it should be from a good recognized MBA college. Only then it will help you get job immediately. Otherwise, despite of having MBA finance degree, you will have to work hard to get a good job.
Next is by Miss Megha Viswam. Sir, I complete BCom finance and I'm doing course named DIFA, which includes Tally Prime, QB, MS Office, and Peachtree. Can you suggest a good job after this?
Well, frankly, I myself am not much aware of two of these terminologies that you use, that is QB and Peachtree. Yes, but if your course includes Tally Prime, MS Office, what I get an inference is it is a course which helps you understand the basic accounting part. But I think one important thing it is lacking, it is the taxation part. Because to get any good job in a corporate sector or in big fours or in MNCs, taxation today is a very big requirement. But yes, you can definitely fill in interview forms for different openings in the accounting department.
Which course will be helpful for opting jobs in private banks?
As I mentioned, one is for their clerks, they have a specified exam. And for the top level, like the managers, assistant managers and all, either they prefer MBAs that also from reputed institutes, or they prefer chartered accountants. This is what generally the trend of industry is. Yes, there could be exceptions, like in corporate banks and all, it is more or less more dependent on your links within the banks. However, if you are talking about good banks like HDFCs, ICICI, etc., it is dependent on the qualifications like MBA and CA.
Next question is, what qualification do we need to get into aviation industry?
Sorry, I don't have the exact name of that particular course, but like how you have specialized courses in the science field for getting into medical, for getting into engineering, there is a course, because one of my school friends had done that, but the name is very odd, so I don't remember the name. But yes, there is a specific course for getting into aviation industry, but I believe it is through the science stream, and that you have to opt immediately after 12th. I am really doubtful. See, I assume that you are talking about aviation industry means more related to the technical side. If you are talking about the accounting and the commercial side, then all these courses that we are discussing is sufficient even to get your job in the commercial department of an aviation industry.
Yeah.
I think, sir,
John,
is there any course like CA plus becoming any university?
no, see, CA is not having any university or college. It is run by a special body formed by an act of parliament, which is the ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And there is nothing like doing CA plus become in an university, because universities offers their courses which are designed by the government or by the Ministry of Education. However, CA is a totally independent course. So there is nothing like CA plus BCom in an university. Yes, BCom you can take up from any university, any recognized which is there around you, and CA you have to take up separately through the ICAI only.
Now the next is by Sandra Johnson. Does business corporate accountant course include training?
See, training is there, but see what happens since this course is online. Firstly, in-depth training is provided on the subject, or I'll say on the technicals of each subject. You are trained with the help of different examples and case studies. But then the practical training only happens after you get this particular qualification, because only after that the industry accepts you as ready for their job. So yes, there is a training, but it is post completion of this course. The course educating who is running this course definitely has good links in the industry, so they help you get connected to good fields or good employable opportunities, from where you get into that particular employment. And you also get what I understand, you want the practical training, you get practical training also, and that also acts as your employment and your career. Yes, ma'am.
Next is again by Soumya. For a job in corporate sector, how to pick perfect combination of degree, course, and how much is enough?
Well, Soumya ji, there is nothing enough when it comes to education. But yes, you have used a very good word, perfect combination of degree or course. See, again, Soumya ji, it is very subjective question, because it depends upon one, what are your skill sets? I always emphasize on this whenever I'm doing counseling of any student or anybody who is talking to me about career. You have to first understand what are your skill sets. Are you a good manager? Are you a person who is a good having a good analytical mind? Are you a person who can handle different things at the same time? Are you a person who is able to take up a particular case study and dissect it into its various components and give solutions? So depending upon your skill sets, there are different courses. So yes, there is something in your words called as a perfect combination, but again, I cannot answer it straight away, because until and unless I understand what are your expectations, what are your skill sets, it is difficult to answer. But yes, I generally suggest that if you are not clear, then you should always take up the CA course, because the CA course is such a course that it has all the subjects which are required in any commercial department, be it relating to government, be it relating to corporates, be it relating to banking. So at least if you are not sure about what are your skill sets or what you aspire to be, then I generally suggest it is the CA course that you should take up.
Next by Ms. Divya, weekly schedule for this course. Divya, I will suggest you to please contact to the person in TaxCan. They have all the details related to this course. Starting date is the next batch. We are starting from 1st of July, and the scholarship exam for this batch is on 25th of June. Next is again by Miss, I don't know, only the mobile Company name is appearing here, Pi Galaxy. Sir, isn't MBA in aviation management a good option?
Yeah, 100% yes. If again you have that particular knack towards the aviation industry, see many times what happens, like a person is very much into FMCG products, like his mind works well for those type of sectors. Somebody's mind work well for logistics sector, somebody's mind may work well for e-commerce sector. So if you are having any such specific inclination or any specific skill set relating to a particular sector, then you can definitely take up MBA in that sector. But remember one thing, when you take up MBA in a particular sector, then in future switching the sector becomes very difficult. So that you have to be very damn sure if you are taking up MBA in a particular sector. See, taking MBA in a particular subject like finance is always a better option, because then you can switch between sectors, because every sector has finance. But if you take MBA in aviation sector, then from there going to FMCG sector or going to e-commerce sector may become very challenging in future. Then that MBA degree may not hold good or help you for switching into different sectors.
I guess we have already answered the question of Abel John, who is asking, is MBA finance is a good career option? Of course, sir has already said this multiple times. MBA finance is a very good option if it is taken from a reputed college or university. Next is from Shifana Nizam. Sir, can you explain about BCom LLB?
Yeah, see, BCom and LLB are two different things. BCom is a graduation course in commerce and a LLB is a graduation degree in law. So if you are planning to take up something in law field, like either you want to start your own law firm or be an employee in any law related firm or in any corporate house in the legal department, then yes, LLB, LLM, these would be a good career options. But BCom and LLB are two separate things.
Sir, after completing CA, can we apply for jobs abroad?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, now CA Institute has made a tie-up with many of the foreign counterparts. If you want to practice in that particular country, you have to take up 2 or 3 papers. If not, and if there are career opportunities outside, I have seen in many countries, like somebody had mentioned the word Dubai, UAE, Dubai, all these countries have a direct job opening for chartered accountants of India, because many of these countries do not have their own CA courses. So they recognize Indian CAs as eligible for taking up their jobs. But these are some very specific countries. For other countries like UK, US, it is always advisable you first complete their courses after doing CA. So then it becomes more lucrative to have a better job options. Yes, ma'am.
We can take these two questions last, and then we'll wind up the session.
Yeah.
Okay. This question is by Mr. Suvarth. Sir, CA and CMA have more similar subjects. Then what is the difference between them?
Good question. See, if you ask me, this answer is firstly at the personal level. Personally, because I teach both of them and I have myself done these courses. So I don't find technically any difference between any of these. And as you rightly mentioned, 90% of the syllabus is same. Then you'll ask, sir, then why there are 2 degrees? Because there are 2 different certification powers given. A cost accountant is having a certification power mainly on the cost reports, and a chartered accountant is having certification powers mainly on the accounting and the income tax reports. Today, as far as GST is concerned, both are having equal powers. Even a CA or a CMA can certify the GST reports. However, as far as accounting and income tax is concerned, it is the chartered accountant. And as far as costing is concerned, management accounting is concerned, it is the cost accountants. This is the only difference which I could find between the 2 courses. Yes, ma'am.
This is the last question by Sandra Johnson. I am a student who had just finished my 12th boards. I would like to offer finance related jobs. So which course of commerce would be good? BCom finance or BCom taxation or BCom finance and taxation?
See, I am always biased towards CA. So if you ask me anything in finance, my first and maybe even the last answer will be CA, provided you have that much time to invest. Because see, why it is not only being biased. In my past 20 years of my own career and my training and all, I have seen the ocean of opportunities that a chartered accountant has within India, outside India, and across all sectors. See, when you talk about MBA finance and all, yes, these are good, but I have found that somewhere you get stuck up. Like if you are doing MBA, you never have an option of setting up your own office. But if you are a CA, well, you can even do a job, you can take up, you can start your own office, you can get into training. There are multiple career options. Now people have started their own bolts, that is of doing share trading, who are chartered accountants. So there is ocean of opportunities. So if you're asking something in finance and taxation, my only answer, I'll only press one button, that is CA course. Yes, ma'am.
So again, we get one more question. I hope this would be the last question.
Okay.
Difference between CA and CS.
Yeah, CA and CS is a very vast difference courses. CA is more towards analysis of figures like your accounting, your taxation, whereas CA is more towards analyzing the law. See, CS is like the legal face of the company. As we all know, that company is a legal entity, and to run a company, you have to comply with many laws at the same time. Company law becomes a mother law for the company, and then there are so many laws, whether it is FEMA, whether it is accession. A CS is mainly a course which equip you to handle a company from the legal front. CA or CMA equips you to handle any business, not only a company. This is again a difference from the financial front, which includes taxation, which includes costing, which includes raising money. So when it comes to calculations and figures, it is the CA or CMA course. When it is comes to analyzing and complying with the law, it is the CS course. Yes, ma'am.
I think we have answered almost all the question for today's session.
Ma'am, may I request to just give the brief about the exams once again, please?
Yeah, we have scheduled a scholarship exam on 25th of this month. And this exam, the syllabus or curriculum, if you want to ask or know about this is a very simple exam that we most of the time we give as an entrance exam to various university or courses. There would be questions from the basic taxation, both GST and income tax. There would be basic question from the accounting, aptitude questions, and general knowledge questions. Only these normal simple question will be asked in this exam. And the top 10 scholars of this exam will get the course worth rupees 50,000 in just 10,000. The next 15 will get the course in 15,000, and all the participants will get some discount in the course. If you have any other question regarding this exam, please let me know. It would be an MCQ based exam. All the question will be in the MCQ format, and the duration will be 2 hours.
Any point with respect to the exams you can ask. And meanwhile, I'm requesting TaxScan team to share the registration form for exam purpose.
Hi, yes, I'm sharing the link of registration in the chat. Every participant can go through the registration link. I'm just share it in the chat box. Yeah, my team will get back to you once you're registered. Also, we'll be creating a WhatsApp group. I think I wrongly sent to. Yeah, I think hope everyone received a registration link. Please confirm it in the chat box. And like actually, we are planning to start a WhatsApp. We have already started one WhatsApp group for a last batch, actually, last free webinar batch. So we'll be creating for this batch also, so we can communicate through, like there were a few doubts and something, whatever they want, they can communicate directly to my team as well. So for my team, Aishwarya and Meeta is here in the meeting itself. They are watching. So they will be communicating to the participants, like they will be following up with the participants as well for regarding the scholarship exam as well as the course, everything. Yeah. All right. So I think is there anything else to mention? Yeah, I think
we can complete the webinar.
Yeah, we can wind up now. Thank you so much, Mr. Vishal, Mr. Arun, and Ms. Pooja for your valuable time. It's been the second time we are actually having the webinar. So it's been like a fantastic session. Thank you so much, all the participants as well as the panelists. So we'll be having a couple of webinars in in coming days as well. So BCom students is one of the largest community in India. This is one of the largest traditional course. Like there are a lot of BCom graduates who don't know where to go, what to do. Like we are actually giving a vision actually. So we are giving a way to explore their career. So hopefully we'll be having a few people more people to our courses as well as like for better their career choice, hopefully. And thank you so much, everyone. We are winding up now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.